This bug is probably called the cow killer for a reason. Welcome back to Bug of the Week Part 23, brought to you by Lil Dudes Insect Academy. If you are new here, consider subscribing, dropping a like, and maybe even leaving a comment down below. Definitely check out our website and find out all the other cool things that we've been working on and all the crazy things with bugs that we love to do. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into this episode. So, welcome to a new 4-part series that I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to go over the 4 most painful stings of any insect. And in case you weren't already aware, a man named Dr. Justin Schmidt was an entomologist who went on a journey to discover which insects possessed the most painful stings out there. And he then created a documentation of his ranking of the least painful to the most painful and named it the Schmidt Paint Index. And when it was all said and done, he had been stung hundreds of times by insects from all over the world. So, about last week, we found out that Dr. Justin Schmidt actually passed away. So I figured it would be cool to do this series to kind of honor his legacy and tell you guys about all these crazy awesome bugs that he worked with. So although there are a lot of them, and I can't really cover every single one of them that he was stung by, we're going to start with this one, the cow killer. This is family Mutilidae, comprising of about 7,000 species, and they are commonly known as the velvet ant or the cow killer. Now, as we've learned with this show, despite their common name, velvet ants are actually a family of wasps, not actually an ant. But the females are hairy and wingless, and so they were first confused as an ant when they were first described. These wasps can be found from the northern end of Mexico all the way up to the southwestern states of the U.S. These insects are very recognizable due to their fluffy orange or red hair, and like I mentioned previously, the females are wingless, and while the males have long, slender wings, which they use in order to effectively search for a mate. These wasps also have a set of compound eyes and large mouth parts. Like many other wasps, these wasps are also parasites, and the females lay her eggs in a small insect larvae such as a beetle or wasp larvae, and these brood hatch inside of the host, feeding on it from the inside out until they can eventually hatch out as adults. As adults, these wasps only feed on pollen and nectar of flowers. So they only feed on a parasite host as a larvae. Now let's get to the cool thing. Let's talk a little bit about the sting of this wasp. What's different about these wasps is that only the females can sting. You see, their stinger is actually a modified ovipositor, which they use to both defend themselves and lay their eggs in the host. And unlike the stinger of the European honeybee, for example, this stinger is not barbed, meaning the female wasp can sting multiple times. Now, when you're stung by a venomous insect, it's actually, the pain doesn't come from the tiny stinger, because the stingers aren't usually very big, and they don't go very deep in you. What causes the pain and the reaction is the venom and the toxins. So scientists have analyzed the venom of the velvet ant and found that it is mostly made of peptides. They found that 2 kinds of mutilid venom peptide were primarily responsible for such a painful sting. So I know what you're probably wondering, can the cow killer actually kill a cow? Well, the short answer is no. People will only call it a cow killer because they know it's super painful, and people have also been described as making sounds similar to that of a cow when stung. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen a certain personality here on YouTube who has been stung by a bunch of different crazy bugs and reacted in a super extreme way. But I would like to mention that this man, Justin Schmidt, was truly the first king of sting, and he was really amazing. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, again, leave a like, consider subscribing, leaving a comment maybe. Definitely tune into the next few weeks where we'll be diving into the next few stings and talking about them. I haven't been stung by any of these, so I can't really speak to the pain level, but there's a number of videos out on YouTube that, and I know a few people who have been stung by a few of them, and they definitely have some input on it. So, if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you did. I really enjoyed making it. I will see you all next week, but until then, keep on bugging.